Hey there, it's fall. Yes, fall. I know, like, I know it's fall. I know we're like mid-October at this point. It just does not feel like fall to me. I don't even know how fall got here so quickly, and basically we're gonna be in Christmas soon. Halloween is like down the corner. How did this happen so quick? I feel like it just turned 2022, so I'm off. But I decided, why don't I just pick some fall palettes? Let's pick some eyeshadow palettes that I want to use during the season that'll probably end before I even open one, because I feel like time is going by so quickly. But yeah, I picked more eyeshadow palettes than I think I should have, but I did pick a lot of eyeshadow palettes that I think are fall worthy, that I actually want to get use out of. So I am going to be starting to try to get more use out of my current collection, and I've told you guys this in prior videos. I feel like there has been so much with this is new, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me. And I do feel like a lot of us already have grown our collections to a point that we may want to just start using what we have. And I hear you guys down in the comments, and I do see that a lot of times when I do speak on these type of subjects, a lot of you guys actually really like it. So yeah, we're gonna use my collections. So I did pick a bunch of palettes. Now these palettes are also going to be the palettes that you'll start seeing in my 5-day challenges. I'll start telling you guys exactly what I think of palettes to give you guys the 411. So a lot of these are going to be showing up. As long as there's no new releases of eyeshadow palettes, this is what you're gonna see. But anyways, that's what we're gonna do. So if you are not subscribed, don't forget to go ahead and hit subscribe. Are you even supposed to say that anymore? I don't know. But anyways, let's get into it right now. So this palette I'm only adding because I just bought it, and I have to do a 5-day challenge on it. And also, I mean, the color story is not really fall worthy, right? I don't think that's a fall worthy color story, but it's okay. It's Pat McGrath, and it cost me $82. And it is going to be a holiday release, so I figure a lot of you guys are going to be looking at her to purchase during, you know, maybe like the upcoming Sephora sale, or also for Christmas time. So I will be using this guy for the fall. Also, this will probably be one of the first 5-day challenges that you see of this bunch. So yeah, that's why I picked this. Honestly, not even because I think it's the best fall palette, but basically because I need to get my money's worth. She is going to be part of my fall lineup. I do have some palettes that I think are very fall worthy, and one of them is actually one that I've been dying to pull out, but I've been waiting for fall. New Major Dimension. This is the part 2. This is the one that's more berry toned. I actually am really excited to start using her again. I loved this palette when I picked it up. I created some beautiful looks, but at the time that I bought it, I felt like it was a little bit too dark, a little bit too vampy for what I was wearing at the time. I feel like it was more towards springtime. This is going to be really useful now, because I feel like now I vamp up things a little bit more. So this is definitely going to be used by me, and I can't wait. All right, so this one, I'll be honest, I'm not like super excited to add this. I'm literally adding this because I never use it, and that's Metropolis. And I know Metropolis is loved by a lot of people, but I have a hard time with Metropolis. It looks like it was well loved, but that's because Lexi got her fingers in it and kind of like messed the whole thing up. Whatever. I did clean it, but you know, it's as good as it's gonna get. But Metropolis has been a hard palette for me to use. I feel like every time I try to come up with like beautiful looks, it's like never like my favorite. But I figure this would be a very interesting palette for me to really dive deep into and really play with and see if I'm missing something. Is there something off? More sitting here behind me. Like, I literally added so many palettes that I want to use for fall. Pumpkin Spice. I mean, how could I not add this? I mean, I feel like this is the time for me to go ahead and use her. She's such a fun palette. I love this palette. And I bought it 2 years ago or so, something like that. So, I mean, she's getting close to her lifespan. Not really. I mean, I keep my palettes forever. But like in reality, she's probably getting close to a lifespan, but I am going to use her this year. I actually really like this palette. I don't even know if you can't buy it anymore, right? I don't think you can buy it anymore, but I definitely am going to use it. Some of you guys probably still have her at home, and she's awesome. Okay, this was another limited edition palette, and Nars created this really cool, I don't even know what it was called. Well, I just lost 3 shades. Wow, how did that happen? So this shade, and this shade just landed on the floor right now. Oh my goodness. That sucked, and I don't know how much I'm supposed to scrape product off the floor to put back onto my eyes, so we will leave it at that. We lost 3 of the best shades in this palette. So since that guy is going to be a toss-up, either I'm going to toss or maybe I'll take some of those pans out, but this is like the sister palette to that one, the Climax. This is the best palette in the world, and of course I was going to take it out for fall. I love using this. Like, this is my favorite. So yeah, I pulled this selfishly, wanting to use it. It's fall time. This is where I get my most bang for my buck out of this guy, and I'm actually more excited to use that one than the other one that you guys just saw that literally broke all over the floor. Natasha Denona's Dream Palette. I'm adding her in because, yeah, I just bought her, and she does have a very cool fall vibe. I think I could get a lot of use out of this right now, especially going into, you know, like the fallish times. I can create some really, really pretty plumish looking eyes. I feel like my eyes are going to look very plum this fall because I feel like everything is like purpley toned, right? But yeah, I definitely can use this guy. Another huge fall palette that I had to pull, like, can I not have the Glam palette? I mean, the Glam palette had to come out. I feel like I always want the Glam palette to come out. Like, the Glam palette could be year round for me, but like this is going to be like fall, end of fall, beginning of winter palette. Like, this is, I know a lot of people do love retro. I have a harder time with this palette. I can't wait for retro part 2. I think that's going to be the ideal palette. But anyways, this one I'm going to start playing with again and try to get some use out of it because I'll be honest, I do not use it that often, and it does look very similar to a lot of the other palettes that I pulled for fall. All right, so I also pulled this because I feel like I wasted my money on this, to be honest, but I pulled it because I want to use it. So this is the Pat McGrath palette. This is the last Mothership she came out with. I honestly think it might be the worst Mothership probably ever. But I pulled it because I want to try it. I want to play with it more. I don't feel like it gives me the most useful eye looks, to be honest. So the next one that I pulled also for fall is Natasha Denona's Sunrise. I really love this palette. I feel like this is very fallish. I could create some like pumpkin-y, kind of sunset, sunrise eyes. Perfect for fall. The Pat McGrath mini right here. So this is, or quad. This one is the Venus and Fleurs quad. I always call it the wrong name, but I feel like this is a perfect fall palette. It has those perfect like browns and fallish looks, right? So I'm gonna use that one. And finally, Natasha Denona's Triochrome. I feel like this is the time to use it, right? So it is, I mean, it's vibrant, but I think the greens could do some really cool fall looks, and the purples, I don't know, this one might be a wild card. Maybe this was like me reaching, you know? Like, is this fallish? Maybe not. Maybe it's like pre-spring. But anyways, I pulled her. I'm excited for some of them. Actually, you know what? I'm lying. There's one more palette. Where's my favorite one that I pulled? I'm actually the most excited to use this last one, which is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes. I actually love this palette, and I usually wait until the fall time to pull it out. Even though this is like basically a universal palette, you could use it with every single one of your eyeshadow palettes, and it does like the most amazing eyes. But I feel like it could do some awesome looks for fall, especially mixing with some of like these red colors, mixing some of these palettes together. So yeah, that is my fall lineup. I feel like I'm very excited to use some of them. Some of them I'm just literally forcing myself to use because I'm like, Christina, you've got to get some use out of this palette. But yeah, so I want to know from you guys. Down below, have you picked your fall palettes? What are you planning on using this entire fall? Let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.